I welcome for this session. Today's special speaker is His Holiness Vedavyaspriya Swami. Hare Krishna. I welcome His Holiness Vedavyaspriya Swami. Those of you who do not know Maharaj, Maharaj joined ISKCON in 1975 and took initiation from from Srila Prabhupada in 1977. Maharaj came in touch with devotees in 1975 when he was doing his research work in biotech. And since after the meeting, that was one of the first Indian family to be moved into the temple in New York. And since then, Maharaj contributed his whole life in the serving our movement. Maharaj travels all over. He visits Sydney, Australia, at least once in a year he visits. Travels all over the world. Australia, Fiji, US, Thailand, Burma, and many other places. So without wasting any more time, I request Guru Maharaj to give us a nectar of the holy name as well as the Purushottam Mass. Thank you very much. Guru Maharaj.
Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshulmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupakatyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jatapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathantam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijan Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sadhana Lalita Sri Vishadhanitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Vihari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namaha Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. In this very auspicious month of Adhik Mas, Mala Mas or Purushottam Mas as it is called, because there are three different reasons for the nomenclature. We will look into that. But to perform the most auspicious activity, which is beyond the pursuit of what we call Yajna Dana Tapakriya, or auspicious ritualistic ceremonies. This is the function of the soul, which is called Yajnaihi Sankirtanam Prahe Janti Sumedasa. In this Kali Yuga, the Sankirtan Yajna means performance of the congregational chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is the only auspicious activity to be performed in Kali Yuga. So what to speak of performing it in Adhik Mas? Kali Yuga is so generalized by its wicked situation, which are all destructive. So when we try to understand that this particular month, which is an extra month according to our solar calculation, because sun is bigger than the moon, therefore moon takes longer time to circumambulate the uh, sun. So in that sense, if you take our earthly circumambulation, which is about 365 days per year, to come to the same spot where we began, the moon will take about 1 month extra in 3 years. So every year there is an extra about 10 days which are said to be out of balance between the solar and lunar calendars. So in 3 years, it becomes the whole month. So as a rule, all the days of the week, all the months of the week are related on a regular basis. This relationship is to the either to the Supreme Lord with his different effect of the months we call Rutus. The Ritus means these are the different seasons. There are 6 seasons to be understood. Every season has a duration of about a couple of months. So 12 months would be regularly counted. And these seasons are known for their specific function because the atmosphere that it carries, over the earth are distinguishing from each other. So this way the months have been occupied in their particular functionalities, and the days are also occupied by the demigods to exert their influence on the recommended effect. So the importance of this extra month was completely, uninvited because it was an extra in 3 years. So that's why it is called Adhik. Adhik means extra. Second thing, it is called Malamas, because there are no auspicious activities to be ever attributed to this month, because everything else has been taken away by the demigods and the controllers of the seasonal effects. So it was a reject month. A reject month has been what we call considered to be a very inauspicious, because people will be afraid because there are no shastric indications for karma kand to be performed. There are no specific good muhurtas or the time for performing even this good ritualistic activities. But this is important to understand that how the dejection of this particular month was been carried on for so many time. But in Padma Puran, the story goes that this Malamas means reject or excreta. Mal means excreta. It is rejected. Nobody looks after the mal once it is passed. you know. So people go and get rid of it, they go out. Uh, Now there are toilets and flushes, so you can remove the mull easily without much appreciating what you have passed out. You just flush it, and the memory will be also flushed out. But so it means the people of so-called ritualistic activities were very much afraid even to do any auspicious occasion, because they become superstitious of its rejection. So anything done in Malamas will not be appreciated, will not make it fruitful, because it's a result-oriented mentality of the people. They always remain completely fearful. Nobody wants to invite the unhappiness without proper direction. Uh, uh, that they will ever avoid. But Malamas would nullify even the good activity. That's but it is fruitive activity. So the value of fruitive activity is as good as doing nothing, because it will not fructify. So in this way, the people were rejecting the Malamas as a completely time to ignore and just sit idle. So um, the pious activities done are supposed to be relieving the effect of such activity of entanglement, and ultimately even the time will be also affected. So therefore, Malamas was completely become despondent uh, about his own fate. Now, Malamas personified is said to be a feminine character. Uh, but the point is, time is never a masculine, because it's the energy, and energy is always uh, calculated in the terms of feminine nature. It is one of the time is one of the Shakti. Time and tide never waits for anybody. So the time is not going to be purchased after paying so many millions of dollars. Prabhupada said time is not belonging of anybody. Uh, so if you miss an opportunity and a particular time, it will be lost forever. So Malamas is again coming under the jurisdiction of time, and therefore she was worried about her own salvation, and this was bothering her. She was becoming despondent about no particular prescribed way it has been ever meant for her, salvation. So she went in front of Lord Vishnu, because Lord Vishnu is Karanodakshai. Vishnu is breathing and breathe out becomes and the time is calculated from that uh, um, uh, the period. So we say, Yasvai Swasati Kalavatha Jivanti Loma Vilaja Jagadandanatha Vishnur Mahani Yasya Kala Vishesho Govindamati Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. The uh, um, Karanodakshai Vishnu is breathing in, uh, is inhaling the entire creation, and it stays for some time within him, and then again he is exhaling out, so all the creation is being recreated. Uh, so that a period between breathe in and breathe out is calculated as time factor. The time depends upon creation and destruction. So the that Vishnu told him, "Oh, I can understand your problem, but I'm merely an expansion of Lord Shri Krishna uh, uh, to create the material world only. But as a matter of fact, time is imperceptible, and yet it is conspicuously present as an internal energy of Lord Krishna. So you better go to Lord Krishna, and he will give you the proper solution." So time went to see Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna knew, and yet being disposed to whoever is surrendered to him, Krishna uh, 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 Krishna sheltered the time, because time came to him and begged protection as a surrendered uh, energy, which is devotee, and he wants to serve him only, nobody else. But he will have to represent Lord Krishna's desire for this extra month that has been calculated out, which people generally of Karma Kanda section, they reject him. So is there any way to put up the salvation for her? Is there any solution carved out for her? That was her question to Lord Krishna. And Krishna gladly answered that yes, because of your surrendered nature, uh, there is a definite, reason that the time is eternal, just like me. When you are serving me, by serving me, you are also caring for the welfare of all the people, whether they are atheistic, theistic, karmakandis, or devotees. Because you have surrendered to me, you are in the category devotee, and devotees are always protected by me directly, while others are protected by me indirectly, and because you take care of them too. Means the time takes toll of others, but Krishna takes care of the time itself. So those who are surrendered to Lord Krishna, Krishna takes care of them directly. So uh, uh, the this extra month became very joyful and started glorifying Lord Shri Krishna's mercy upon him. So in this way, Krishna also told him that from nowadays you will know as Purushottam Mas. My name's month is there, that you are not called Malamas. Those who are inclined for karmakanda, they will call you Malamas. But you should not consider them any special. They have their own fate. So they will be rejected by me who are not worshipping me, but they want to remain on a karma kanda level, prativ activity level. So you can act upon them according to their time is off, right? So Krishna is only favoring to his devotees who are surrendered souls. They are performing devotional service on behalf of Lord Krishna. So therefore, this nobody knows this month as a Malmas. Only Karmakandi, those who are depending upon their auspicious and inauspicious. Because Karmakandis are so selfish that even for the earning, they depend upon their Karmakanda. So if they perform any auspicious activity like marriage and long life related situation of yajna, tapa, ityadi, So people will pay, but there was no guarantee that they will ever be successful because they will blame it to Malamas. So naturally, Krishna is ignoring them. So Malamas has to ignore them too, you know. But Malamas will be rectified only by the devotees who will constantly chant the glories of the holy name, glories of Lord Shri Krishna all the time. Malamas will be also getting the benefit reaped off from her surrender. So in this way, Krishna justified this, Adhik Mas as a very auspicious time for the glorification and performance of devotional service to Lord Shri Krishna alone. Therefore, we must understand that if this month comes and the Damodar month or overlapping or adjacent to Damodar month, it will bear 1,000 times more results of the auspicious spiritual activities, and a devotee will become advanced by depending upon the mercy of the Lord. He will do extra rounds, extra tapascharya, very meticulous devotional service on spreading the holy name and performing Krishna Katha, in every town and village. They will, do so intensely that the result obtained during this particular month, which falls in the month of September, I think 11th September, it is all the way up to 10th October, and then the Kartik will begin. They say in Kartik, you perform all these activities because Krishna is busy in his pastimes. Vrindavan becomes most exuberant atmosphere for performance of devotional service. Lots of festivals are coming in Vrindavan. People flock in millions in Vrindavan. The parikramas and everything in remembrance of Lord Shri Krishna is performed. Everything becomes devotional service in Vrindavan. So the results obtained during Kartik is about 100 times more than any ordinary days. But results obtained in this Adhik Mas, Purushottam Mas, this is 1,000 times more than what is obtained in Kartik. So, the Leelas are absolute and they are remembered in Kartik month. But at the same time, performance of devotional service, when Adhik Mas is near, Adhik Mas will yield so much amazing results that devotees can cover so many other lost years by performing extra devotional service. They will compensate their lot in estimation of advancement. So the idea is that we are all required to increase the devotional service of transcendental nature without gain of anything. It is just simply for the pleasure of the Lord. This particular month is suggesting that act of devotional service starting from chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, in congregation, or otherwise in smaller assembly in the temple and all other venues where it is possible. During the corona, we are restricted to assemble in the temple in a very limited way. So people in general will not be benefited. So but the Sankirtan nevertheless should go on. How the Sankirtan should reach according to the modern amenities. So this has been wisely carved out that we are reaching far and wide through this communication method called Zoom, and we can do a congregational chanting and performance of devotional service together. At least hearing and chanting together is quite effective on the Zoom apparatus. But at the same time, there will be another device also that will put us into virtual togetherness and exchange the glorification. So remember, in any case, between the devotees, Machitta Matagata Prana Bodhayascha Parasparam Kathantascha Nityam Ramantita Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. So, in the association of the devotees, one can become serious by involving its consciousness on Lord Shri Krishna very acutely. Madgata Prana. Madgata Prana means we should absorb ourselves in thoughts of Krishna. Because for Krishna, Prana and himself are the same, right? Madgata Prana, and we should be always remain absorbed in his thought. That should be the attraction of the devotional service should be. And bodhayantascha parasparam, we should inquire or speak about our realization in Krishna consciousness. That will also serve so much potent result. The devotees will rejoice this kind of activity, even on Zoom, bodhayantascha parasparam, instructing each other about the glories. We always gain something. The nityam kathayanti, if we take up as a regular function of speaking and hearing, hearing and chanting, the tushyanti, it will definitely satisfy and ramanticha, and we will be able to rejoice together even though we are too far. So this benediction is automatically given in this particular month of the Adhik Mas or the Purushottam Mas, where in this period the devotees we concentrate our participation in glorification of the holy name by any means of mass communication, that we have. Even sitting at one place, you can reach out in that many multitude. So the effect of the holy name throughout the world will be resounding, and it will become so much auspicious that even more auspiciousness is achieved, 1,000 times more is achieved during this Purushottam month than any other month. So this should be the result orienting towards the specific advantage of fulfilling the desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that Prithvite Ache Jatan Nagar Adigram Sarvatra Pracharve Hoibe Morana. So in every town and village, every nook and corner of the whole material world, Lord Krishna's holy name will be sung. So this is an opportunity which was even foretold by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and carried down from disciplic succession through him, and to present day by our Srila Prabhupada, who was instrumental in fulfilling this particular function of spreading the holy name throughout the world. So, under his tutelage, all his direct and indirect disciples, or his own disciples and the disciples of disciples, everyone in subsequent, time from this Kartik towards the 10,000 years Kartik, where the glories of the holy name will be manifesting throughout the whole world. And the whole world will become Vaikuntha. Prabhupada said, if you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, the whole world will become Vaikuntha. So you can see glories of the holy name and the glories of the Purushottam go together hand in hand. So we need to take full advantage of this particular month, because why do we have to wait for 3 years more to come? We can make perfection so easily, and that you do not have to repeat for another 3 years to wait for another opportunity. It's better now or never type of situation. So in this way, we should remain enthusiastic to perform the Sankirtan Shakya congregationally, singularly, by spreading the glories of the holy name, the glories of the great saints, and glories of Lord Krishna himself. All the pure devotees are thus engaged concentratedly and throughout the world to reach out the fallen conditioned souls and go and let them help to come back to Godhead. So these are the very vital functions that has been described during this Purushottam Mass. And the World Sankirtan of the Holy Name is every year being organized in ISKCON by ISKCON Kirtan Ministry, and organizes a worldwide campaign to perform an individual temples or any individual devotee to take part in the programs for public reach out. Book distribution will be also going side by side, because we are distributing the holy name in the form of the books. So, the other day there was a program of Bhishma. Was it Bhishma or what? Where you are supposed to sell so many sets of Srimad Bhagavatam. Last year, Bhadra Purnima. So last year there was a specific impetus in this area of Kerala, but this year nobody is pushing that much. But regardless, Bhagavad Gita and other books are going on very steadily. The people who came to inspect our new home, they end up with receiving, they asked for Bhagavad Gita from us. So it is so much inspiring that if we do on a very organized way in the whole month, for the Purushottam month, this is a marathon by itself. Generally, we organize or we have marathon coming yet to come for 1 month at least to distribute Gita on Gita Jayanti. Here there is no restriction for any other books also, and devotees will be so enthused to go out and take opportunities of any with all the safety measures and distribute hundreds of thousands of Bhagavad Gita. So actually, this month is the starter point that will culminate in the marathons. Marathon of the kind, the world is ever infused to or inspired to receive the transcendental literatures of Bhagavad Gita. Sometimes Srimad Bhagavatam holds it, or Chaitanya Charitamrita holds it, or other books slowly. But the devotees remain extremely joyful, enthusiastic, and in spreading Krishna consciousness through these opportunities. After all, we should understand Kaloham Asmi, but he is appearing in the form of Purushottam month as preserving, not destroying. And the Lokakshaya Pravruddhaham, that was at the time of Kurukshetra. But here, for the welfare of the people in general, Krishna is existing, and Purushottam month is the special because the Adhik month personally surrendered to Lord Shri Krishna's lotus feet, and in this way she was protected, nurtured, and Krishna wants to show that anyone who surrenders to him utterly, because he is asking as a conclusive. Those who have understood Bhagavad Gita would come to the conclusion that Krishna, by surrendering process, Krishna will give us freedom from all the papas, all the inauspicious things that we have ever accumulated in our what you call our toll of the karma, our treasure, the papa karma treasure. It is very, very invaluable as far as our doom is concerned. That will take us into the darker region of hell. While the same kind of activity for the pleasure of Lord Shri Krishna done in this particular month will yield 1,000 times more results than any ordinary month would have. So it is the desire of the Lord that infuses the whole populations throughout the world will be eagerly accustomed and waiting for receiving the book or Mahamantra in this auspicious time of Krishna's form of the time. Krishna is in the form of the time. The time is a representation of Lord Krishna, and but here he is presenting his own benevolent time. People who are eager for auspicious and inauspicious calculation of their karma through the karma kand and try to make something for temporary piety. But foolish piety will not give them ultimate result of liberation or going back home, back to God. That can be easily achieved in this observation of the Purushottam month. And devotees want to beg permission from their guru to ensure. And Guru happily sees the enthusiasm and they want to perform the extra austerities, extra japa, extra service, etc. You know. So in this way, we can see the holy name and the time is interrelated. Sukadeva Goswami glorifies in Srimad Bhagavatam that even in Kali Yuga, is Kalo Dosha Nidhe Rajan, and Dosha Nidhi, uh, Kali itself is inauspicious. So what Adhik Mas is going to add more inauspicious? No, it is foolish bodily conception of life that people are estimating on that way. How can you do ever any good activity, pious activity in Kali Yuga? Because all these activities are contaminated by the mode of ignorance, which is more predominant in Kali Yuga. But nonetheless, when devotee like this Adhik Mas and the personification of this extra month, when she takes shelter of Krishna, and anyone is depending on Krishna directly, indirectly, but everybody has to be taking shelter regardless. So Krishna's lotus feet are so magnanimous that they give shelter to anybody and everybody.
Hare Krishna, looks like there are some internet issues where Maharaj is. So please stay online and we'll get Maharaj's association back very soon. Yeah. Please just stay online. No need to reboot or restart. Just shortly. Yeah, Rajvidya Prabhu is calling Maharaj and he's finding out. So once again, apologies for inconvenience. We'll be back soon.
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Prabhu.
Rajvidya
I'm trying
Prabhu.
to reach Maharaj. Let's see if I can reach him. Looks like there must be, because it had been raining very heavily there. So that's why it gets the internet gets disturbed there. So anyway, I'm trying to contact him. I'm calling him. Thank you, Prabhu.
Is there any questions? Just call up. Okay. Hare Krishna, sorry for the break in internet.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yeah. So is there anybody having any question?
Maharaj, Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandut Pranam. This is Venu Adhik Das. Maharaj, one Prabhu sent me a question and he was saying, in Purushottam Mass, what is the significance of singing Chaurashtakam?
Chaurashtakam. Now to enjoy Krishna's pastimes as visioned by a different kind of stealing activities Krishna did. That is the a devotee having a special rasa and this kind of activity of Lord Shri Krishna, which is rather enlivening. Is a wholesaler chore, Krishna. So in one particular hymn, he describes different kind of stealing. But Krishna is not worshipped for different kinds of stealing except one, as a butter thief only. You got it?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Maharaj. Just requesting all the participants, you can please type your question in the chat window, or you can raise your hand if you want to ask the question yourself. Yeah, Rajudha Prabhuji, let me unmute you. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj, for many years we have not heard so much about Purushottam Mass in ISKCON. And neither the Prabhupada has not mentioned too much about Purushottam Mass also. But now, last few Purushottam Mass years, we hear a lot of things like this Churastkam and so many other things. So what is the best way to follow? Do we follow the same thing, or we increase, as you said, we increase our chanting? What would be the best way?
Purushottam Mass is instead of engagement in materialistic activities of karmakanda or sense gratification, it is better to improve our sadhana, either by chanting or reading Prabhupada's books or preaching or whatsoever. It is meant to increase the bhakti, tivrena bhakti yogena yajata purusham param. So the time becomes the uddipak, means he is flaming up the desire, or we need to increase the desire to perform more devotional service. People take vows on this Purushottam Mass that they want to chant 64 rounds. Then they beg permission from their guru. I said, bless you, go ahead. And what to do in the lockdown period? Increase your devotional service. And when Purushottam Mass is coming, to reap up the results more than 1,000 times, you will be inspired. So whatever you have, let undone the whole year, you might be, inspired to cover up the loss. It is just like every Ekadashi is done, but when Nirjala, Baimi Ekadashi will come, you are more inspired to do more devotional service. So the Grahasthas take as a generalized information to increase our devotional service. That is the significance. What is the excuse otherwise? Okay?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Maharaj. Rajudha Prabhuji, do you like to let me unmute you?
No, thank you, Guru. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Thank you for that.
Maharaj, there is one question, Maharaj, just come on the chat. Question from Shyam Sundar Krishnadas Prabhuji. Maharaj, he's asking that Kal is material dream, and when we are going for spiritual quest, it is not in material connotation, so chanting should just go on and not depend on time. And Kala is manifestation in the material world only. If you can please help clarify, Maharaj.
Still a material body is chanting, so the body will have effect of particular time and circumstances. You are advised to chant in Mangal Muhurta. Why? Because it's the most auspicious time that you must take the advantage of it. It is when the demigods are awake and they perform. We have, as a human being of, say, demigod origin, we are inspired to chant early in the morning. That is the best chanting. If the sun rises and then you chant, your Rajogun will be more inflamed because the body will be affected. And in the night, Tamogun will be affected. So those chantings will be just for the sake of finishing rounds, not qualitative. So those who want to remain inspired, try, get up early morning, finish your sadhana before even the sun rises. and see how you'll be more freely engaged in performing devotional service. Because our body is made up of three gunas, therefore they will dance according to the gunas. Even though you think you are liberated, but your body will dance accordingly. So that fantasy will be over. That there is no time limitation. No, you have to just like follow the regulated principles first, and then go on the spontaneous aspect. You know, if you start on a spontaneous aspect, you will not yield a result in Kali Yuga. Therefore, Rupa Goswami has written down the Bhakti Shastras giving very stepwise development.
Thank you.
Hello?
Thank you, Maharaj. Maharaj, there is one more question, Maharaj, and the question is, please elaborate how to depend on Krishna directly and indirectly.
Directly and indirectly. Indirect, whatever you are doing, you should know that you are borrowing the energy to perform a karma from Krishna. Krishna, the karma brahmodbhavam viddhi and brahmaksharam samudbhavam. Brahma is dependent upon the body of Krishna, right? And the karma is generated from Brahma. Tasmat sarvagatam brahma nitya yagya pratishtitam. You are advised to perform yagya instead of karma, or akarma, which is called yagya, because that will save you from the bondage of karma. Yagyarthat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana tadartham karma kaunte mukta sangha samachara. So if you think that you are dependent indirectly, not directly, but that indirectness is to bring your sense ultimately on the Supreme Absolute Truth's mercy. You are depending upon Him. Directly, it is Ishavasyamidam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat. Everything belongs to Lord Shri Krishna directly. But tena tak tena bhunjitha. You remain satisfied in your lot that has been awarded, kept aside for you. Ma gridakasyat svidhanam. That is the direct dependency. Sudama was depending upon his lot. He never, tried to, counterfeit any other things. So we should directly and indirectly dependent. As a devotee are performing only the direct devotional service. Okay, so they are directly dependent. They have no indirect business. So an initiated devotee who is committed, he is committed directly to Krishna. There is no indirect function to be done for him.
Thank you, Maharaj. Maharaj, there is one more question, and from Brihad Bhanudas Prabhuji, and Prabhu is asking that in Purushottam Mas we do more austerity just for this month only, or we should start something that will last for lifetime, and how to look at this?
Depends upon you, because Purushottam Mas will be coming again and again every 3 years. So you will be increasing more and more. Then I don't mind. Go ahead.
Thank you, Maharaj. Maharaj, there is one more question, and the question is it is mentioned that in Purushottam Mas the chanting is 1,000 times more powerful than Kartik Mas, or is it just 1,000 times more powerful than the ordinary months?
Yes, Kartik Mas is auspicious, but it is preserved only for Lord Krishna's particular pastimes that have been ever enjoyed. And Kartik Mas is more significant in Vrindavan or in the temple. So there are regular activities offered in service of Krishna. So they want to increase with all joy that is observed during this particular month in the form of festivals. So many festivals come in Kartik month, just to increase the happiness of Lord Krishna, for Krishna's pleasure. He is the reservoir of pleasure, but devotees want the pleasure protected and preciousness of it. So they want to rejoice within their own spiritual realm. Everybody has a spiritual realm. Some may have limited, some have more. But to increase the spiritual realm, devotees participate in Kartik to increase more and more.
Thank you. Thank you, Maharaj. So to all the attendees on the session, are there any more questions, please? If there are no more questions, before we sign off, just one request. So I've sent you the survey link. Please complete that survey. It's a 30-second thing. Then it will help us improve further and serve you better. And the recording for these classes are available on the Google Drive and also on the Facebook. So Rajvidya Prabhuji, would you like to say something?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you very much, everybody. And thank you, Guru Maharaj. And so next week we are having His Grace Asitadya Prabhu also. He's also disciple of, senior disciple of Maharaj. So we'll hear from him the holy name, the unholy name. Thank you very much, Guru Maharaj. And thank you all the people,
Hare Krishna.
all the participants. Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.